Now time to lay out the 20 millimeter holes using the 32 millimeter system. The holes are actually 96 millimeters apart, so every third hole. I am using the Paulk guide to do this. This is a tool that I should have gotten a long time ago. You see me here using the Mark I. I now have the Mark II. Fantastic tool. Hard to make a mistake. It uses the Pythagorean theorem, the 3-4-5 rule in layman's terms, and it's just as accurate as a CNC machine. Are you enjoying these videos? Do you get anything out of them? Would you like to see me make more? Well, this is your call to action. Drop down in the comments section down below. Give me a comment. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And remember to subscribe. Come on over to thesmartwoodshop.com where you can find out more about us, see some of our projects, and you can also visit my store where you can purchase any of my plans to download instantly, or you can use our Amazon affiliates where you can purchase your tools for the same price they'll give you every day, but they share a little bit with us. And I'll tell you, I have found that I can drill the holes one at a time faster than a CNC machine. Now, obviously, if you look at a multi-$100,000 multi-spindle machine, that might be different. But comparing it to watching it drill the holes on about a $100,000 machine, I can drill them faster. Obviously, if I had a machine doing it, I could be doing something else. All the holes are laid out, so now I grab the other part of the Paulk guide. Everything you need is included with the exception of the drill and the clamps. I also use a vacuum, which they recommend to keep things clear. It helps things drill smoother instead of the wood chips sort of stacking up in there. The Mark II actually has, I'm not sure if it's optional, if it comes with it, but a little vacuum attachment so that it will suck everything out. But I found that pretty necessary most of the time. And then it's just a matter of using the jig with the pins, putting it in those holes you drilled, which you know are perfect spacing and perfectly square. And then the jig helps you hold that 20 millimeter Forstner bit perfectly square. And it's a nice bit, carbide tips, and drills a really nice hole from the top. This was the first time that I had used the Paulk guide. I've used it many, many times since, and I've gotten much more efficient with it. One of the things I discovered is nothing to do with the bit. It's just a matter of going through the plywood. When I drilled the first few holes, I got a little bit of blowout, and even though I had a backer up against it, so what I decided to do was just take the drill bit without the jig, put it in the gun, in the drill gun, and then flip it over and use the tip of the bit into the pilot holes, which were all the way through, and just basically score the underside. So I'm going down just a millimeter or so, just cutting away the surface. So then when I go through from the top side and go through to the bottom, my thought at this time here is that I'd get a clean cut, which in fact that is what happens. As you watch me just march through drilling these holes at high speed, actually this is my everyday speed, this is how fast I work. Notice that my bench is in pretty good shape. This is the prototype, the original Paulk workbench, the one from the very first video. The reason I don't have the more refined Paulk workbench 2, which is what everybody else seems to have, is that when I sold art, not only did the Paulk Total Station go, but the Paulk Workbench 2 went with it as well. So I ended up needing another Paulk Workbench 2. I have not taken the time to build myself one. I had the original, the prototype. It's much clunkier, not nearly as refined, but it's still doing the job. And I'll tell you, this bench has been used many, many hours on many, many jobs, and there's not a single kerf or cut in it. There's a few drill holes, small drill holes where I went through with the drill bit that don't really affect it. But I get people ask me all the time about gluing the top down because they want to be able to change it when they cut it up. And my question is, why would you cut your bench top? I've never done that, whether they're doors or plywood or anything. I always use a sacrificial strip. These strips, I bet these sacrificial strips I have are years old. You can see how cut up they are from routing on and cutting on them, drilling through them. and they're easy to carry with me and much better than cutting up my bench top. No reason to ever cut your bench top. The next video, we'll get to installing the bench top. Give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, subscribe, and come on over to thesmartwoodshop.com. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Have a